Yes, so hi everyone. Thank you for joining this webinar. Okay, so I hope you're able to hear me. So let me share the
Yes, sir.
screen.
Yes, sir.
So I hope you're able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let me start. Okay, for half an hour, like I will explain, then we can have the question answer session. Okay, so I'll try to resolve your queries. So the main purpose of this webinar is to guide you like how to step into BIM if you're interested in. Okay. Okay. So the topic for this webinar, it's like step into BI. Some of you maybe you can mute. If you have any queries at the last, you can unmute and you can ask. Okay. So the BIM skills where we provide both consulting for the BIM projects and training. Okay. And in the BIM series, like this is third episode, and it's like live demo of the training approach, like how we provide the training, what is the methodology, okay, what are the steps we need to follow in that. Okay. So what is the agenda? So we will have the introduction and the commitment to BIM standards, like why we are following BIM standards and why it is important for us, and what are the BIM standards we implement during the training, and then like from where you will get the BIM training, like from the experienced BIM practitioners, and in-depth detail, okay, like how detailed the training is, and the projection details, okay, the created during the training period, and on which type of projects we will work, and then we will have the question answer sessions. Okay, so first about the webinar. Okay, so why this is important to know about the training program. Okay, mainly like what is the methodology of the training. Okay, where we commit to the BIM standards. The main thing, we focus on the BIM standards. Okay, like first preference will go to the BIM standards, and then it will go to the software model. Okay, and then you will see like how in-depth details we are covering, and how we can shape the careers, or how we are shaping the careers. Okay, and you can get you can gain the insights and outcomes of the training. Okay, so let's explore. So first is like our commitment to BIM standards. Okay, like it's not our commitment to just go to the software such as maybe Revit or some other. Okay, the main commitment is for the BIM standards. Okay, so we should follow the highest standard in the building information modeling. Okay, which are like recognized by the industry, and about the best practice. Okay, basically BIM implementation is like preparing a dish, any kind of dish. Okay, like dish is nothing but like preparing a project or implementing a process. So that BIM process, it depends like uh, how, like in a best way we are preparing the dish. Okay, every dish we can have in a different way. Can you give me 2 minutes?
सर आवाज ब्रेक हो रहा सर.
Yes. So sorry for disturbance. So I was discussing that we need to go for the best practice in the industry. It's not we know already BIM. It's not about only creating a 3D model, and maybe I have some open files here. You can check out. Maybe by Weave you will see that this is very nice. Okay, the colors and the details and everything. But in actual, we are more the important thing is the engineering details and the technical part of the model. It's not about just 3D, like how the colors are looking like. Okay, one moment. Okay, so BIM is about the best practice. So how we can implement BIM in a best way to get the more benefits from the investment. Okay, so that is our approach, so that when you join the company in future, if you become any BIM manager, any good BIM professional, so you should be having that perspective that I as a BIM professional should be implementing BIM in a best way, so that I can get like more outcomes. For example, for any company, if they want to start this project, like any design consultant, okay, they need to have a lot of investment, okay, for the BIM. In the terms of like softwares are costly, okay, in BIM. And the other thing is like machines. So if we talk about like computers, we need the investment for the computers, and also we need investment for the employees. So the investment for the BIM is high. So as a business, okay, any company, that is contracting company, any consulting company, any real estate company, everything is like business. So how they can get the benefits from the BIM model, whatever we prepare. Okay, so for which we need to set up the BIM standards, we need to have the best practice, so that whatever we are investing, so we can get better like outcome from that. Okay, in terms of like benefits, and we can grow the companies. Okay, so if you see here, in the training, okay, by considering these advantages or potential benefits of BIM, so we are adhering to globally recognized BIM standards, okay, such as PAS 1192, okay, BS 1192, and ISO 19640. Okay, and I will let you know later like why these standards are important for us. Okay, by embracing these standards, we ensure that our participants in the training will gain understanding of BIM methodologies and are equipped with to meet the expectations of the international standard industry landscape. Why? Why this is important? Because BIM is becoming a common standard to implement in all the different kind of projects. Okay, that is why, for example, sometimes if we take experience, in India, and if we go to the other countries, they will consider the experience, because BIM standards are becoming like common, okay, such as ISO, so which will help us to prepare some standards for documents. Okay, so not only just saying that these standards will be there in the industry or something, but during the training we will use these standards, we will study the standards, we will see why these standards you know came into picture, and who created these standards. Okay, what were the reasons? Okay, and how important weightage we should give to these standards during the training or during your career. Okay, because a lot of people, they see BIM as only Revit, but during the training also they focus only on training, only on Revit, and when they join the companies, again they are just focusing on Revit. They are not developing themselves into these standards and other things. Okay, but BIM is a combination of process and the technologies, softwares, so we need to use all the things. Okay, that is why the weightage we should give during the training to these like standards. Okay, so using these standards we will apply in the projects. Okay, the next. So the next thing is we will, as I said, we will use the standards to create the documents. Documents such as if you see employer information requirement (AIR), BEP, BIM execution plan, MIDP, okay, master information delivery plan, TIDP, MPDT, and maybe some other documents. Okay. So before starting the project, we need to set up all of these documents. If we don't set up all of these documents, simply we start any kind of project, we can do the project without CAD also. We can simply, for example, if you check Taj Mahal in the previous years, without softwares, they completed Taj Mahal. Still, it's like marvel. But the main thing is how to save the wastage, how to save time, cost, okay, how to get the project, as it is looking in the design in the real site. So for all of these things, we need to implement these standards, okay, like BIM standards, such as EIR is client requirement, BEP is a plan from the consultants and the contractor to execute, like they will tell in the BEP like how we are going to execute BIM as per the client requirement. In MIDP, okay, it is about the like how many files we will be submitting, okay, at what stage and all. So these details like we'll be having, okay, in the training. Okay, so we will create. So first of all, we'll be creating these documents. We will select one project, like real project, and then we will create these documents. We'll assume that there are certain like clients in Dubai, Saudi. So we will assume like we are working as a BIM consultant for those clients. Okay, so first of all, we'll prepare the standards, and then we will understand the goals. In AIR, like we will mention the client goals, why they are implementing BIM. Because if you see for the client also, it is required to implement certain amount. Okay, if you see, for example, if you see as per the pricing, maybe for CAD we need just 10 rupees per square feet, but for BIM we need 20 rupees per square feet. So the client also needs to invest double. So why they should invest double, instead of which they can just get the project done in 10 rupees also. But why? Because they will get the better aspects from the implementation of BIM. That is why. But we should be, you know whatever the 20 rupees we are charging, for example, we should be giving the outcomes, okay, to the client, the benefits. So we need to first of all note the benefits, what the client want to get by paying us 20 rupees per square feet. For that we need to prepare EIR, BEP, and other documents, okay, in this way. So next, if you check here, continuous updates and integration. The good thing is as I told you, like we work both on international projects and the training. So whatever the details we get from the project, like whatever the experiences we get from the project, the same thing will be get implemented into the training to improve that, so that you can have the latest kind of methodologies, procedures, like we are following in the projects, okay, and the best practices, as I told you. Otherwise, if simply, for example, we are using Revit, there are certain books, if I show you, like Revit productivity book, okay, if you see this one, the main title for this book is Increasing Autodesk Revit Productivity for BIM Projects. Okay, a practical guide to using Revit workflows to improve productivity and efficiency in BIM projects. So it's BIM is not only about like directly jumping into Revit and just creating a 3D model. There will be a difference between a normal model and the BIM model. Okay, if you see here, this is the type of project we'll be working during the training. So one thing I want to show you here, like if I prepare, there are two methods to prepare the model. Like if I select any wall here, you can check out, this is like one wall, and in the same way we can have the another wall. So the other method is to go into modeling place, use the wall, click here OK, and use the extrusion rectangle, and easily we can create the wall here, you see. So if I finish, both are looking like wall only, but there is a difference in between these two walls. Okay, I can match the height also, but there is a difference. What is the difference? If I select this wall, you see there is no information. Okay, very less information such as space created. Okay, but if I go to edit type, again I don't have any information properly. I have the information, but like manufacture, maybe fire rating, cost, some other thing. But comparatively, this one, if I select the other wall, you see, I'll be having a lot of information. So we can use Revit as SketchUp. We can use Revit as AutoCAD 3D to just model a 3D. So we can do, if we see in that perspective, we can just finish this project in very less time, for example. Okay, in this project. But if we go in this way, like while developing a proper information, then it will take time. Okay, so the main thing, all of these standard things and all we will get by implementing BIM in the projects, the best methodologies and all. That is why we need to follow this books and all, not only just using a Revit book where we are having the steps to use the tool, but how to use the tool for the proper productivity, so that we can have a proper BIM model, so we can use it in the complete life cycle of the project. Okay, so by using these kind of like standards, okay, and as we work on the projects, we let our training to be like updated as per the market requirement. That is the main idea to work on the projects. Okay, so we'll be having the experience, and the same experience will be added in the training. Okay, next. So if you see the thing I said, like we'll be working on international projects from South Africa, from Saudi. So one of the big client in Saudi. So whatever the experience we get in those projects by like implementing the same thing, the experience will be get added in the training. Okay, that is the main advantage of this training compared to the uniqueness, I can say. Okay. So at last, like certification and experience. So upon completion of the training, okay, you will receive 6 months of course certificate, okay, and 6 months of BIM training experience. As I told you, during the training, you will be working on these kind of like projects, okay. So you're developing a lot of details here. If I show you, I'll show you the other details like other project. So as directly in the training you are working on the projects, so you will get 6 months of course certificate and 6 months of training experience later, with the help of which you will get like job easily with good package. Because when you join the company, sometimes if you do the training, then again they will give you BIM training position. But if you show that already you're like BIM training, or you did already the internship, so it will help you to get the full-time job, okay, in that. But to get this course certificate and the internship experience, so you should be submitting your project. So whatever the project we are creating, the same project we should be submitting. Okay, and also at the end you'll be having an exam or a test kind of thing, which you can reappear also. Because the main thing, through this platform, if you are into BIM, you should be one of the best person, while comparing to the current industry practices. You should be like one of the best BIM professional in the market. So when you join the company, the other professionals, they should recognize you. They should like I can say, uh, they should be inspiring from you, that you have the right kind of like BIM knowledge. Because I discuss with a lot of candidates, they are working in the company, but some people, they don't have proper knowledge of BIM. Through this training you can be. That is why we want to be somewhat like strict to get the certificate of both course and the experience. Okay, so we should be like one of the best candidate in the market. Okay, so for preparing the resume, portfolio, and job guidance, these things you'll be having from the start of the training itself. Okay, it's not like at the end of training. You'll be having from the start of training. It depends totally upon you, like how you are active during the training. Okay, right. So you'll be having, as I told you, like experienced BIM practitioner training from the experience. The people who are practicing, they can provide better training when compared to the people who are having just teaching background experience, because the things are getting changed day by day. Okay, whatever the BIM today we see, tomorrow it's like something different, something like new kind of things are getting added. So because of which we need to be active in the market, so that experience, we can like pass to the candidates. Okay, so the main thing about the difference in training is like in-depth details. Okay, so for example, if you see in terms of in-depth detail, some samples which are created, during the training, and the same things which are implemented by the candidates. You can see here the million detail and all. Okay, whatever we created during the training, the same thing we created as a family. Okay, in the training, so we'll be able to take off the quantities also. If you see here, like I should be opening the other project. Like again, you see we have like spider fitting details. Some things need to be corrected. You see the spider fitting details we have complete, details. Okay, so we prepared these details in a such a way that we can visualize in 3D, and also we can get the quantities. If you see here spider fitting schedule, so we had three types of spider fitting: three arms left, three arms right, and four arms. So we can get the quantities here. And also in the other way, we can get the quantities of, for example, base plate. We can get the quantities of this, hexagon bolt. We can get the quantities of this J bolt. Everything will be able to, take off the quantities. Okay, in that way, like we prepared the kind of like families here. If you see one more, you can check out. We prepared this kind of like mullions. Okay, during the training. So it's like a family again, nested family type, and this is like support we prepared. So in which again we have this, anchor bolt, we have like hexagon bolt, we have like screw, this bracket. So we can, with the help of which we can get the quantities. Okay, the main thing that is what I told you before implementing the things, we are deciding what is the purpose. As for that one, we are just following the thing. So if you see, we got like some 3D images, the projects, we worked, the landscape part. Okay, for the, I can say for the civil and architects, so we can follow the architectural details, we can follow the interior details, we are following the landscape detail, we are following the facade detail in this way. Not only just creating a 3D model, but from the 3D model, creating the proper sheets as per the standards, and taking of the quantities. Okay, and using the same model for clash detection, coordination. Okay, in that way. So you see here the different details. We are using the BIM model for site logistics study. Okay. So if you also see in the image here, okay, we are using the model for site logistics. So a lot of things like that is where first of all we are preparing the EIR document where we are adding the scope of work, such as using the BIM model for site logistics study, using the BIM model for quantity takeoff, using the BIM model for drawing production, clash detection, coordination, visualization, facility management, renovation, safety implementation, a lot of things. Okay, so all of these BIM standards, BIM dimensions, LODs, we are implementing in the training. Okay, so you should be studying the BIM in a such a way. Otherwise, creating this 3D model, okay, it's very easy. But in terms of BI with best practice, it is difficult. Okay, if you do the best practice, then only you'll be able to get the quantities and some other things. Okay, so the details, if you see here, the rebar detailing and all. Okay, so at last, like for the architects and for the civil engineers, we'll be doing three projects. Okay, we'll be using CAD to BIM, scan to BIM, CAD to BIM architecture, CAD to BIM or scan to BIM architecture, and again CAD to BIM structure. So we'll be doing like three projects, two architectural and one structural. For the mechanical, electrical, one project for the CAD to BIM, one project for the scan to BIM. So we should not maybe follow sometimes this methodology, but sometimes it is required. Why we are using CAD? CAD means like AutoCAD. We are using AutoCAD as a reference. So we are not developing these projects from our side. Okay, we are using some real projects as a reference, and based on that we are developing our details. We are changing some of the shapes. Okay, so that is the main thing. We are not creating the project from our side, because it depends, like we are implementing BIM, we are not doing the design. so that we should have this space, we should have that space. So these kind of like space details and all, the materials, colors, and everything will be chosen by the architect. Okay, but we need to study this BIM technology. We no need to study the space planning. For example, for the civil engineers, if you have the basic knowledge, that is enough. But having the, you know, like planning knowledge, designing knowledge, preparing the elevation, colors, that is not required for civil engineers to enter into BIM. Okay, for civil engineers, they should be working on technical details of the, you know, building model. Instead, like as a civil engineer, if they are working on the position of BIM engineer, they should be like implementing technical details in the model. Okay, for the architects, they will also be considering technical, but along with that, they will focus on the materials. They will focus on planning. Okay, but for the civil engineers, this is not, you know, required to focus on how the color is looking like. But they should be, for example, this more cantilever, they should be checking here. Okay, the tech, as for technical details, it is not good, they should be checking. So as a civil engineer, if we are building any project in real, the same project we are building in virtual. So that means in real, we focus on technical details. In the same way, we should focus on technical details during the virtual. The same thing. Okay. So I hope you got it. Uh, I think I finished half an hour. So I just wanted to explain, like, you know, what we are following. The main thing, I'll repeat again. The main thing is we are following the BIM standards first to create the AIR, BEP, MIDP, TIDP, MPDT documents for the client. So once we are prepared with the documents and we are having the clarity that what, you know, the client wants to get benefits from this BIM model implementation or BIM implementation, because they are paying double amount to us. Okay, so we should be also giving them the benefits. Okay, so because of which we are preparing the documents, and then using these documents, okay, we are just having some references of the project. And then see, we are having three things I told you to some of you people. One thing is the standard, second thing is the reference of the project files, and the third thing is the software. Okay, so directly we are not jumping into the software. Okay, that is our methodology. So I hope you're okay with this. I hope you understood. If you have any questions or queries related, we can discuss.
Uh, One thing I wanted to ask that before starting any modeling, do we get a site plan or demarcation plan from the client before starting the modeling?
Yes, yes, we will get
Okay, and the coordinates for the projects as well, no?
coordinates of the project also we can refer. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Any other clarifications or queries you have?
In the beginning, you have explained regarding the code like BS 1192, PAS 1192, and ISO 19650. These codes are uh, valuable in UAE and Saudi also, or only in India.
These are valuable in all the other, you know, countries, including Saudi Arabia, Dubai, everywhere. Okay. And the international clients, such as, for example, we can say NEOM, they are also using the ISO standards. Okay. That is the advantage of BIM, because whatever the, you know, BIM, the methodology you will be having in this training, for example, in India, the same kind of methodology and the working things will be there in other countries also, because BIM is about sharing the information, creating the information. So if we have the common standard in all over the world, you know, we can easily share the information. Okay, like structural designing, for structural designing it is compulsory to have the different kind of design standards. For the architecture also different kind of design standards. For the BIM, it's about sharing the information. It's same like we are using Teams. So I'm also using Teams, you're also using Teams as a software. So it is easy for us to exchange the information now. You're using internet, I'm using internet, so it's easy for us. Okay, so the same kind of thing is like BI, to share the information so that we can avoid miscommunication. We can do better things in the construction to solve the problems. Okay, so the standards will be same. So ISO is nothing but international standard. So previously it was like BS and PAS standard, which is related to like British, UK, but now they have converted this BS and PAS standards to ISO, so that it is international. So if you do the work under ISO standards in India, the same things will be useful in other countries also.
These codes detail you are going to provide any PDF so that we can study the code as well.
Yes, for BS1, BS and PAS 1192, I'll be providing the codes, but for the ISO, I have the draft copies. Okay, so I'll be sharing the draft copy for this.
And in the last, you have mentioned regarding the conversion of CAD to BIM architecture and CAD to BIM structure. So in the beginning of the modeling, first we will build the structural part or the architectural part.
See, the main thing what we are considering is, I explain you, uh, what we are considering during the training is, there is one, for example, any client of hotel project, okay, chain of hotel projects, okay, they want to start a new branch, for example, in Dubai or South, or anywhere in India. So then already they went to one engineering consultant in Dubai, okay, for example, they went to one engineering consultant in Dubai, okay, and they already completed uh, the details, I can say, details such as drawings, okay, and everything using CAD technology. So basically, in this training, our mindset should be to understand what BIM is mainly. So already this client, they went to an engineering consultant in Dubai and they completed all the details such as, I can say, drawings. What is CAD technology? In CAD technology, we use like software such as AutoCAD, 3ds Max, okay, and Excel. So AutoCAD it is for the drawings, okay, and 3ds Max it is for the rendering, okay, and Excel it is for the data, for example, estimations. So if we change in drawings, again we need to update in rendering, 3ds Max model. So if any changes there in 3ds Max model, again we need to update in drawings. The same thing to be updated in Excel. So this is like CAD. So using CAD, we are not able to solve better problems. Okay. See, previously it was manual drafting. Okay, and 3D model we are creating maybe using any wood, maybe any cardboard. But using that method, manual like drafting, we are not able to solve the problems in a better way. So again, we started using computers to solve the problem. That is CAD, computer aided design. So then using CAD also, we are able to solve the problem, but not up to the mark. That is why again we are switching to BI. Okay, so again in future something will come. So again we will switch into that technology. So basically in this training, I want you people to understand the difference between CAD and BIM. Okay, what BIM is exactly. So what we are doing, we are assuming that this hotel project client, they already completed the design, okay, by going to one engineering consultant which was working using CAD technology, and they completed all the drawing, rendering, and data. So we will use this as a reference, okay, all the details as a reference, these things, and then we will implement in BI, okay, so that we can provide better like benefits to the client. Okay, so that is why directly we are not creating anything. We are basically, that is why I just want to like let what is the difference between CAD and BIM. Okay, that is why we are using this But for scan, we'll be doing this one more project to understand what exactly point cloud is and how to work on
It means before starting any modeling, we will get the pre-data. It means from a consultant, we'll get the pre-data, then we will work on that data.
it. Yes.
Hello, sir. What will be the LOD level? I mean, will make the soft drawing or not?
Mhm. I showed you this one, like we created this detail. You see the LOD level, it's 400. Okay. So we will start from like LOD 100 to we will work till LOD 400. Okay, completely. But for not all the elements, because we don't have maybe much time, right? So for example, facade we created. So we will be just focusing on some parts, like a railing will go for up to LED 400. This facade will go up to LED 400 like that. So for some elements, it can be 300, 400 like that.
Okay, okay. I got your point. Thank you.
Yes. Any other doubts we can?
These 4 points you have mentioned regarding BEP, MIDP, TIDP, MEDTP, is there any basic difference or these all are interconnected?
I can say there is a difference in between and also interconnected. These are not like same. So there is like MPDT where we'll be mentioning about the LOD. Okay, at which stage for which element how much LODs we will develop, because it is important, as I told you, like whether the client needs these details or not. For example, the client they doesn't need this all the screw details and everything. They just want this bracket. They don't want this anchor bolt, this hexagon bolt screw. So simply, as a consultant or a company, if you're investing our time to create these details, then what happens? It will be our time waste. Okay, and also the client doesn't need that, so we'll not get paid for that. Okay, sometimes the client will be needing this, all the details, so we will not be preparing this one. It's like vice versa. So to avoid these confusions and all, we will preparing this document like MPDT. MIDP is for like what to deliver. Okay, how many files we need to deliver, what will be the file formats, when to deliver, what is the deadline of each and every file. Okay, for that we need to prepare this MIDP document. Okay, as an Excel file. So this is also like Excel file. Okay, so TIDP is what, like this is for task. Okay, information delivery plan. So like who will be doing which task. Okay, so we had like MPDT, MIDP, TIDP. Then AIR, it is for the client requirement. BEP, it is for the execution plan. Okay, so first we will prepare AIR for the client, and using AIR we'll prepare the BEP. Along BEP, we'll prepare the other document, will get approved. For example, we'll create a scenario in that way that we are getting approved these documents from the client. Then only after the approval, we'll be working on the, you know, projects. Okay, without approval, we will not work. You know what happened? Like there is one company recently in Saudi Arabia. So what they did, uh, from the main client, it was a requirement to complete the project in BIM. Okay, and hand over the complete project as a BIM model as per LOD 500 and also the other documents. But what happened? The client also was not involved during the project, and also this company. So what happened at the end? This company, what they did, they used CAD technology, that is CAD, AutoCAD, completing all the as-built drawing. Okay, so they tried to submit to the client, but the client rejected this. The client said, "No, we want like in BI." Okay, in that way. So now, like until and unless we complete the project in BIM, we cannot hand over the project. Okay, so here what happened? They didn't follow like AIR, they didn't follow BEP, they didn't created any MIDP, they didn't created any TIDP, nothing. They didn't created any MPDT. So what happens now? simply like we will do anything because we don't have any standards. Okay, so because of which like we need to follow these documents. Okay.
From the term LOD, it means you are saying regarding the different level, like level of floor, like LOD is mainly considered as level, or it
Yes,
is a different term.
it's like level of development. Okay, like how much you're developing the model. Okay, uh, will you be adding this, for example, there's a glass panel. So for the glass panel we added like mullion here, so this mullion is required to be developed in this detail or just a solid one. Okay, this bracket to be developed with the supporting parts or just a solid one, or do we need to develop this bracket or no? So this is like LOD. Okay. So any other questions we have? So no worries. So I hope you understood the methodology. If you have any queries further, you can reach me. Okay. So in group, like I will share this PDF. You can go through it if you want. Okay. So thank you for joining. Okay, we will connect again.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Ca- Can I get one example of that project in WhatsApp group?
You mean the file?
Like how we will learn from this course, like that.
Like, can you repeat the question so that I can answer?
Sir, I attended in the middle. I didn't get you what we learn from this course. We are in this course. We are doing modeling or like what I need to know that.
Okay, no worries. Like, I'll be, sharing this recording in the group, so you can
Okay.
watch from initial.
Okay.
Yes.
how, how a mechanical engineer can pursue in BIM
Yes.
career.
Mechanical engineer can also work in BIM. Okay, all the people who are related to construction, they need to compulsory know about BIM. Okay, if there is any maybe any position, whether it's like construction project manager, planning engineer, architect, mechanical engineer, electrical, okay, site engineer, any person like in future, because BIM will be common, but not to maybe understand the overall modeling kind of thing. For example, for a site engineer, the modeling is not required, but they should be having simple knowledge about BIM, because like nowadays you see everywhere there is a CAD. Okay, every like company they use CAD technology. Okay, if you see, for example, previously if you check, people used to do manual drafting, but now nowhere you see the manual drafting. Okay, because everything got, because it was a problem, we need like a lot of maybe big hall, the time taken to produce the drawings will be maybe more, and the coordination will not be there, right? Because of which we use the technology such as computers to work in a better way. So like nowadays we can say this CAD. In future BIM will be common. Okay, and again we will go for further kind of technology maybe in that. Okay.
Because there in BIM there is the architectural part and the structural part. Because
Yes.
we mechanical engineers don't know about that. Can we handle it during the BIM course?
Mhm. So during the, for example, BIM, you'll be working on the basics of architectural detailing, basics of structural detailing, and the complete MEP model. Okay, so that you can solve the issues, before going to the site here. You will be able to visualize the things in a proper way. Okay, if you see here, like there is a chiller. Okay, so like AHU. So you'll be able to resolve the issue. Like what is happening here? You see the pipe is going through the wall. If I keep all the elements at shaded mode,
Mm. Yes.
so sometimes what happens, like whatever the elements we are placing, will be able to visualize these things in a proper way. Okay? So if I keep the coordination at coordinate, now you see we are able to visualize the things in a proper way. So how the chilled water pipe is going. You see here the pipe is getting flashed. Okay. So we how to solve this one now. Okay. Whether to obviously we'll be having a shaft here, so we need to move the pump. So if I move the pump here, so how it will work? Okay, you see this one. So we solve the clash. Okay. So we can take the decisions before going to the site. For example, sometimes maybe from the back side we don't have any like access to this chiller. Okay, so we need some access from this front side. You see here, from this side we don't have any access. From this side also we don't have any access from this side. So we need one access from the some part, so that we can try uh, in a way that just to move the chiller here, so that we can have one some access. So we need to also know like how much access is required. Okay, how much clearance should be there again from the left side, how much clearance should be there again from the front side. Maybe as per the architects, what happens if we try to visualize, maybe from the below we will see the chiller. Okay, if there is any person at, for example, ground floor. So using different kind of softwares, not only just Revit, but using different kind of softwares, we'll be able to visualize like, are we seeing this chiller okay from the below part? I think it is there at the back side. Just a minute. So if I add from this side, okay, if I keep the again VWAT coordination, so what is happening? You see the chiller is visible. So how to keep this like whether it is visible or no, or what kind of things in that.
Obviously, this is map is the actually the mechanical part, but I'm talking about the structural and the architectural part. After completing the course, should mechanical engineer can handle this on site, or maybe whichever what the project he is handling after the completion of the course.
Mhm. Can you repeat again?
Sir, map is actually the mechanical part. Matlab,
Yeah.
she can handle that very well. I'm talking about the structural and the architectural part. After completing the course by
Mhm.
mechanical engineer, will he will be able to handle this that part on site.
Mhm. See, not the coordination knowledge and multidiscipline is required, but not the modeling part. Like a mechanical engineer will not be completely focusing on the modeling of architectural and structural details. Okay, it is not required. But in-depth knowledge of this MEP part is okay. It's okay for you. But if you have multidiscipline knowledge, it's good. Okay. So during the training for mechanical, you will be working on this architectural, model. Okay. In the same way, I think still in this project, the structural model is not completed, but we'll have the structural model also for the coordination purpose and the complete MEP model. So you'll be focusing on all three disciplines.
Hello, sir. You didn't inform about fee structure and software license and when course will commence.
Which license?
Software license.
Software license. See, are you from a company or like individual
Student.
student, right? So for student, you'll be maybe taking like student version. Okay, because if you go for example, Revit license, okay, for us it's required, but for you people, you can get the student license. It's free, but for you for 1 year, if you see, it's like 1 lakh, 58,000 rupees. So you'll not be paying for 1 month. It's 22,000. So it's for the commercial. Like if you're doing a business, then you can use the license. Otherwise, the student license is open. So you'll get for free up to 1 year. Okay.
Which laptop is required for this BIM course? because there are so many softwares there.
Mhm. Can you repeat the question again?
Which laptop is required for this BIM course? Because there are so many softwares.
Mhm. It depends, like, some of the candidates, they think BIM requires very high configuration kind of, sort of like laptop. But it depends upon your usage. Like, what is your usage? Okay, for example, for me, I need to do both projects and training, so I need heavy machines. So because I cannot say what kind of project I will get. So I should have a good machine. But for you people, it depends on your usage. Whether you want to do only practice, you want to do only practice plus some freelance projects. Maximum you can do that. Okay, practice plus
Yes,
freelance.
yes.
Freelance
Okay.
project sometimes big or sometimes small. Yes, yes.
In the structural part, like live load, dead load. So if we make any slab, like any slab we make, so this beam will give me the exact value of the live load, dead load, and the load calculation of any particular structure.
Uh, can you let me know your background?
I'm from civil.
In civil, like, are you a structural engineer or?
I'm a project engineer. I'm working right now, but in execution part, see, while designing anything, we have to consider every aspect of the building, right? So in a particular structure, if you are building a structure, so we should know aware of that what kind of live load is going to come here over here, and what will be the dead load we should consider in a structural part. So suppose we make one slab through the beam, okay? So will it give the all the information regarding the load calculation?
BIM will not give you information about load calculations and all, but you can use the model for structural designing, because this load calculations and all things will be done by a structural engineer. So they'll be using core designing kind of software such as ATABS, StatPro. Okay, so Revit is not for designing these structures, and this is also like one of the misconception. Like, we can do design using structural. So we have, for example, if you check, we can add the loads. Okay, we can add all the loads and everything. We can analyze the model. But to do the analysis, if you want to use Revit model directly into a core structural designing software, okay, that can be, for example, robot structural analysis. Okay, where you can take your BIM model into robot structure analysis. You can connect, and you can, basically what we are doing is in BIM, like, we are trying to correct the model, okay, in terms of technical wise, maybe architecture, structural, anything. But the core designing, softwares will be robot structure analysis, ATABS, StatPro, not Revit. But we can use Revit for checking, for the purpose of checking it. Okay, because maybe in future we'll develop estimation of the structures, like rebar and everything, from Revit itself, the drawings from Revit itself. If we, because the controlling of this information model is important for us. If we miss any one column, okay, it will be difficult, so we should not be missing this one. So for that purpose, we have this analysis part, but the dedicated softwares are different. Revit is for information modeling, okay, not for the structural design.
Is it necessary that a beam modeler should learn Tekla also? Is it necessary?
It depends, okay, whether it is requirement of a company or no. But if you see, for example, BIM tools, okay, so you will see like a lot of kind of tools here. Okay, uh, if you have the knowledge in multiple tools, that is good. Okay, if you don't have, it's okay, but it depends upon the company's requirement. Okay, if you have knowledge in extra software, that is good, but it's not necessary, okay, to use the software. Always you should be learning as per the company's requirement. You should be going to LinkedIn or maybe some other platform where you will search for BIM, and then you will see the jobs, whatever for the job you want to prepare for as a BIM coordinator, for example. So what the skills they want you see. Uh, they are hiring for a BIM coordinator. It's experience kind of job. Like they want Revit coordination, BIM 360 Navisworks. They want any mechanical, civil, or architecture. Okay, and what responsibilities they are. So this company they will not ask you Tekla. Some companies they will ask you the mixed kind of software like Tekla. If you have knowledge in multiple software, that is good, but it's not necessary.
Thank you for the clarification.
So I guess we left with 4 minutes. Still, if we have questions, we can, or else let's.
Sir, you didn't tell about the laptop which you require for BIM training as well as to handle the project.
Yes, I was saying like it depends upon your usage, okay, and your budget. What is your budget, right? So mostly, if you want to get a laptop only for the practice purpose, I think any laptop between up to 40,000 is enough. Okay, no need to go for the higher, configurations and all. But if you want to do the project also for the future purpose, you can maybe try to get a better one up to, uh, like I can say 70,000, 80, 90, 1 lakh. It depends upon what kind of purpose of yours is on the budget. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Some candidates they are having just i3 laptop, with 4 GB of RAM. Okay, so they are using it. Okay, for the practice purpose. It's okay. All right. Because obviously when you join the company you will get the computer work, you will not be, but sometimes what happens, some companies they'll be looking for work from home kind of jobs. So at the time
Yes.
if you have a good configuration laptop, so it will be beneficial for them, for the company, because there are certain companies uh, they are hiring like for work from home. uh, in the maps it will show the company location, but if you go actual there is no company. Okay, so they're taking complete work from home. So they are getting dependent upon your computers. So if you have specification, then it will be good for you to get that job. Otherwise, it will be difficult.
Sir, what about the course fees?
The course fee is 30,000. Okay, and the duration
And
of the course is like 6 months live. Okay, and parallelly you will get like more than 40 sessions as recording. Okay, recordings you will get parallelly to study, because a lot of things are there. So, and the sessions will be from Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday will be off. Okay, and the current batch timing, which will be starting from tomorrow, it will be 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. evening, daily 1 hour. But you need to spend certain time also because we are working on projects. So in 1 hour, I will guide you how to implement the things. But you need to spend certain time because of which we have Saturday, Sunday off. Okay. So if we teach like live, it is going till 9 months. So I don't want to take that much. 6 months is enough, more than enough. So 9 months I don't want to take. So whatever the extra 3 months sessions will be having, that you will get as recording. So more than 40 sessions, because as time goes the training details are getting increased. So but I want to restrict to just 6 months. So extra sessions will get as recordings. Right. Okay. And this is like one time investment to start career in BI. No need to do like trainings again and again. Not like doing the basic training and again doing the advanced kind of training after 1 or 2 years. It is happening. A lot of candidates are there who are working in BIM, and this training it is for the people who are already working in BIM also, maybe up to 5 years. Okay, because they are working in BIM but they don't know BIM. It's happening. So there are certain companies they are not interested in implementing BIM. They are just having the projects on Revit. They just want to complete it Okay, and the candidates are also like that. They just want to focus on, they don't want to focus on BI, they just want to have knowledge on one software, Revit. So for them also, like who don't know BIM and who got stuck, there are candidates like who are having sometimes 3 years of experience also, but they got stuck and they are getting only 25,000 salary. For these kind of candidates also, but after doing the training, they are getting more than, they are getting 50, 65. Okay, because they're having the that perspective, like things are there in the market, otherwise they're getting stuck. So for you people who join this training, there will be no need to do the training again in the future. And one more thing, the good part of this is you'll be having, you can join the sessions, you can record the sessions, you can have the recorded sessions for your personal usage, now and for the future. You can repeat anytime, and the depth of the content will be useful for in future also. Okay, so this training is for both freshers and the experienced professionals in BI who want to again jump and want to get the good salary hikes. But I see recently the candidates who are just freshers, like 20, it depends upon perspective. I'm saying 2023 pass out candidate, like he got 40,000 as a trainee. And yesterday only one candidate, like 2022 pass out, he got 30K. He was also a fresher in BI. So I see nowadays one more 2022 candidate in, he also got like 25K initially. Okay, and after 3 months 30K. So I'm seeing some good companies, like they are providing better price. So this is like MNC company. These are not MNC, but I can say these are like medium type of company who are providing this service. Okay, so it's like good start if you do, if you practice well, if you develop your skills in a best way, it is possible. The main thing is like confidence. Yes.
Hello,
Yeah,
sir.
after
Can I pay the 30K as a part-time payment?
Please tell me. Can you repeat?
Can I pay the payment partly of 5,000 or 10,000, 10,000 for 30K?
No, no. For fee, it's like you should pay in one installment or maximum like two installment. We have, like if you pay in two installment, it's like one during the admission and one within like 3 months. Okay. For anyways, for
Okay, sir.
the commercial things we can discuss later. Okay. You can reach me personally. I will be ready. Main thing is to see this one. If you're genuine, like if you want to, genuinely want to do something, it is possible in India or maybe like abroad. The main thing is, if you follow the training, you will get like good exposure to the content. You can say up to 5 years of experience you will get. Okay, so it depends upon your practice now, like how you will follow the training and develop these details. Okay, because in look wise, maybe this panel is not looking anything for you, but it's like very intelligent kind of families we have. Okay, so this spider glass fitting is also like very intelligent kind of like family we have. So to produce this detail, it's not only like 3D. That is what I said. Like to get the quantities here, it's not easy. We spend almost 15 days on spider fitting and also this mullions. Okay, details here completely to see the, I can say, you see the mullion detail, the glass panels, this one, to do the development in 3D and also to get the quantities here. Okay, quantities in the form of, okay, this brackets, mullions, mullion height. If you see the parameters we are getting, the main thing is information. So if I select only mullion, I will get the information such as what is height. Okay, you see like what is height, again. To it's changing as per the panel. If I change here the grid line, the panel or the mullion height also will change one by itself. Okay, you see here, if I increase the height, so when the panel changes along with the mullion changes. So these kind of details are there which will take time to understand, to implement. It will be somewhat difficult. That is like actual BM, not only just preparing a 3D model. So because of which you will get some good sort of experience. So if you work on this, you can utilize the training to start your career. Okay.
So we'll learn the family creation also. Am I right, sir?
Yes, family creation. The main 50% weightage, we will give to family creation. Okay, because if you don't have the family, this is the family created, right? This one, the anchor bolt, everything. If we don't create this as intelligent families, then we cannot,
Yes.
develop these details. We cannot take up the quantities. Okay, we will not be having any information. So family
Yes.
creation, we will give like 50% of weightage, I can say.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways, it's okay. For any other queries, you can reach me personally. Okay. Uh, let's connect again in future. So thank you for
Okay.
joining.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you
thank you.
so much.
Thank you for your time.
Welcome.